Blessed Squad, what's going on with y'all, man? It's your boy, Blessed Applesauce, here to bless y'all with another video here on Blessed to Invest. And today, y'all see me, I'm chilling on the couch right now. This is going to be like one of those laid back videos. I might do one of these like once a week because sometimes I'll just be thinking and I'll be like, dang, that's a great video idea. Let me do this. So as you can see from the title, we're going to be talking about consistency in your trading, day trading, swing trading, whatever you're doing, and 3 things you can look at to improve your trading so you can get that sought after consistency, so you can make consistent money in the market, because it takes a long time to get consistent. It takes a while. It took me a couple years, 3 years almost, to actually find some consistency in the market. A lot of trial and error, trying to figure out, what am I doing wrong? Why am I losing money? Why am I blowing this account? What's going on? And I ran into like a lot of pitfalls and like trying to figure out like, what in the world are you talking about on YouTube? So before we get into this video, make sure you spam the like button on this video. Crank these videos out there. I'm doing a lot of work on these, so make sure you spam the like button to show your support, and also sub down below for more content like this. But consistency, the number one issue that you need to look at for consistency, I'd say, is your edge. Figure out exactly what your edge is, because a lot of times, I'm not even going to say for other people, but for me, when I was trying to figure out what strategy I was going to use, I was trying a breakout strategy. I think I tried the breakout strategy first, or I don't even think I had a strategy. I just traded like uptrending stocks. That's what it was, because I was following Ricky Gutierrez saying, oh, trade uptrending stocks and everything's going to be fine. Kinda, somewhat. Sure, I guess that might work for somebody, but that was the first thing I did. Just trade uptrending stocks. That didn't really work. And then I started trading breakouts a little bit. That kind of worked a little bit. Started trading like straight washouts, catch and falling knives. So I was really all over the place with a lot of different strategies, just trying a lot of different things. And the number one thing I can say is make sure your edge actually works. A lot of people on YouTube and a lot of people that have these 50 million strategies in these books, sometimes the systems don't even work. They'll have a system and say, oh, it's great, and then you test it out and it doesn't work. It might work 50% of the time. It might work 30% of the time. It might come up with massive losses, and you're sitting there like stressing out, like why am I not consistent? Like, what's going on? Like, is this effective? What am I doing? And really look at that. That's number one. Make sure your edge is actually effective, because a lot of times when you have an edge that actually works, a lot of the consistency is already going to fall into place. You're probably stressing out right now thinking, oh, maybe my mindset is messed up. I'm stressing out. I can't trade well. Or my journal is saying I don't trade on good sleep, or whatever you're adding on to your trading. And a lot of times those problems tend to go away when you actually have a system that works, an effective system. You've done some data, some statistics, and found a system that worked. Like for me, I was trading breakouts on low float names, and every time I trade the breakout, I buy the break, I'm getting in a couple cents higher, and then all of a sudden a wall of sellers pops up and then it cracks down. And I'm thinking, like, what's going on here? I'm losing 70% of my trades. I'm trading the system. I'm sticking to the system, but for some reason I'm losing 70% of my trades. You can't blame that on psychology. That's not a psychology thing. That's just a pure edge problem. So make sure the strategy that you have, whether that's a breakout, whether that's a pullback, whether that's looking at the EMA, Golden Cross, or something like that, make sure the system you are looking at has an edge that you did some market data on, you looked at, and you say, okay, this is consistent. This is a consistent pattern here. It works 50, 70, 80, 90, 95% of the time. You find something that actually works consistently. And then once you find that, you've done some data, you tested it 50 times, 100 times, you say, okay, this works. This is effective. You think to yourself, okay, my psychology is fine. Like, if you mess up, if you mess up and you're thinking, oh, I got in a little wrong, the entry wasn't perfect, but you know 80% of the time it's going to work, you're in a good headspace at that point. You're not stressing out. You're not like, oh, is the market going to move my way or whatever. You're already thinking, this is my system. It works. You've already done the data and tested it. So you have you believe in the system already after you've already tested the edge, because you know it's effective and work. So make sure, be careful with that, because a lot of these traders will put 50 million systems, EMA crosses and stuff like that, where the edge really is not there. So make sure you're doing that. That's rule number one. Instead of spinning your wheels for the next 3 years, trying 5-10 different systems, blowing thousands of dollars on systems that really don't work, test it out, paper trade it, and actually check and see if your system actually works long term. So that's number one. Number two, make sure you journal your stuff. So with the edge component, there is an edge component where there's the market structure, and you're looking at, okay, does this actually work? Am I trading the right patterns? Is my edge set up? Once you have your edge set up right, there's an element of market psychology that comes with this. So you can have the perfect strategy. I can give you the perfect strategy where you're going to win 80% of your trades. Let's say we're trading a breakout strategy. This thing goes to the moon 80% of the time. 20% of the time, we know it's going to fail. We've looked at it. We know it's an effective system, but for some reason, 20% of the time, it just fails. So you need to identify the market psychology that's going on. And that's why I recommend journaling. Write down everything that you feel, you have emotions about in your trading. And I recommend a book called The Mental Game of Trading. It's by Jared Tendler. I hope I'm saying the last name right. Jared Tendler. Just look that up. The Mental Game of Trading. He goes through a checklist for the mental game of how to improve your mental game of trading, because there's the market structure, actually understanding what's going on in the market, and then it's the mindset, actually understanding what's going on in the mindset. So once you get this graph, you know this is working. The market structure, you have a system that works. Make sure you get your mindset right. For me, I have about 15 questions I ask myself every morning. I ask myself, did I stick to my strategy? Did I trade the strategy how it was supposed to be documented? That's one. For me, I ask myself, how calm was I before the trading day? Was I tired? Was I stressed out? How did I feel? Was I good? During the trading day, was I stressed? How was I feeling during that? Did I stick to my game plan? Did I cut my risk properly? Did I add extra risk that I wasn't supposed to? I write down my P&L on the day. I write down, did I trade past 10 a.m.? Because for me, when I trade past 10 a.m., the results from my trading is a little bit different. And you're going to notice that when you keep track of all your stuff. So I want you to take good notes and write data points of all your stuff. And you're going to pick up patterns like, okay, I trade better during this time, or my trading doesn't work as well during this time. So let's trade, say you're trading, this is with your mental game, and also your documenting of your edge. Sometimes your edge is not going to work in certain types of markets. For me, my edge, it works in low cap markets. Low cap markets around 9 o'clock to like 10:15 ish. After 10:15, you get into this range bound market where it's not a lot of volume. A lot of these plays are really slow and not really moving around a lot. So it's better that I get away after that point. So that's one question I ask myself, that I trade past 10 p.m. because that can affect my results as well. So read that book. I highly recommend that, The Mental Game of Trading, and it's going to show you the mental side of trading and how you can improve on that. So those are two things, the edge and the mental game. Last but not least, the one that really messed me up that y'all need to work on, and I'm preaching to myself and I'm preaching to y'all as well, is position sizing. Position sizing is going to be a killer in the market, not only for the people that have a lot of, they have small accounts. So me, when I was trading, I was dealing with small accounts. I was doing $500 accounts. I think it was the first account I opened was a $500 account, and then I opened like $1,000 account, and then I opened like a $2,000 account, and then I was like a $5,000 account. So when you're trading with smaller accounts, realize that you're in an uphill battle. You're dealing with commissions. You're dealing with locate fees if you're shorting. You're dealing with monthly platform fees that you're dealing with. So not only is that going to mess up your psychology, but it's going to mess up your profit potential. So if you're making $10 on the day and then commissions eats all that up, you're still down on the day. So a lot of times people get into a scenario where they will just trade their whole entire account because their account is not big enough to position size. So if you're trading with, to make the numbers easy, if you're trading with $1,000 and your commissions are $6 in and out, so it's $2.95 in, $2.95 out, that's $6. You need to get more than, on a $1,000 account, you need to get, what is that, like do the math. I'm not doing the math all the top, but like you need to get like 4% return to actually make some money, which is ridiculous. A 4% return on your money is really high. Am I doing the math right there? But I'm not the math. I'm not getting the math right, but y'all get my point. You need to get a high return on your money every day just to cover commissions, and that can be very difficult to do. So people tend to step away from position sizing when they know they need to. So instead of trading with $1,000 just straight up, you may need to trade with $250, but you can't because commissions are going to eat you alive. So make sure you're aware of that. You need to trade with an account size that's actually big enough to, 1, cover commissions, 2, cover the platform fees, and 3, get you into a scenario where you can size well enough that it's a good portion of your account while still making a decent profit where you can make money and still cover all those fees that it comes along with. So getting into that, just make sure you are staying aware of those 3 things. Make sure you actually have an edge. Make sure you keep your mental game in check. Document everything, journal everything, check how you're feeling mentally, check how your strategy is performing over certain periods of time, certain setups, etc., and then also check your position sizing. Position sizing is going to be a killer for a lot of people because they're like, oh, I can just throw $1,000 into the market. I'm buying Apple today. I'm going in. I'm buying it. Don't do that. Make sure you're position sizing. If your stop loss, let's say you're buying a stock at $100. If your stop loss needs to be at 90, put it at 90. Don't put it at 95 just because you have a small account and don't want to risk that much, because it's going to mess up your it's going to mess up your profitability. Literally for me, that literally changed my profitability around. I knew I had the edge. I was sitting there reading psychology books for like the past year thinking like, okay, my psychology's fine. I know what I'm doing. I'm confident in my system. And then I'm sitting there looking like, why isn't this working? It was the position sizing. I don't need to be going in with my full account. Go in with a portion of your account and position size incorrectly. Place your stop loss where it needs to be under some market structure. I did a video on that as well. The correct place to put your stop. That is critical. I'm gonna leave a link to that up here. Go watch that video. Make sure you know exactly where to put your stop loss and position size accordingly. I'm also going to do a video coming up on how to put your how to size in correctly. So let's say you need to put your stop loss. Let's say you want to space your stop loss a little bit more and you don't know exactly where the market is going to reverse or go in your direction, and you want to give yourself a little bit more space. I'm going to do a video on that one as well. I got to get on the computer for that. But this one is just going to be about consistency. So those are 3 things y'all need to look for. Edge. Make sure you actually have an edge. A lot of these YouTubers don't have edges. They're giving you fluff. They're giving you mess that don't actually work. Don't try it. Test it for yourself before you put live money on it. Make sure it's actually an edge. Second, make sure your mental game is in check. Make sure you're doing a journal and checking if there's any hiccups in your trading where you're just mentally out of it. because a lot of times maybe you're not sleeping enough. Maybe you're gonna notice, like, when you get angry, you just lose money. Check that. 3, make sure your position sizing accordingly. Make sure your account size is big enough where you can position size. Maybe you have to get a part-time job. Maybe you have to fund it with some other. Maybe you need to take a break from trading and fund your account a little bit more before you actually are able to position size correctly. Whatever you need to do, figure that out and be able to position size. So those are 3 things to look at, and let me know down in the comment section down below if you're having problems with consistency. What are you doing? And we can chop it up in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like on this video. I'm working hard, man. I'm working hard. I'm trying to get everybody consistent, everybody making money in this market, because stocks can be hard, but I'm trying to make it a little easy for everybody. So I want to answer everybody's questions as much as possible. But that's going to wrap it up. It's been your boy, Blessed Applesauce. Stay blessed, and I'm going to see y'all next time on Blessed to Invest.
Just to see tomorrow is a blessing. Stay prayed up is the message. Everything about a nigga blessed. Everything about a